Hey, my name is Fabio Colombo. I moved to the United States in 2009 and I fell in love with the American craft beer scene. After getting some experience working for St. Archer Brewing, O'Sullivan Brewing, and Stone Brewing Company in San Diego, California, I moved back to Switzerland and I co-founded Broken City Brewing Company together with two great brewers, Rodrigo and Andreas Silva. Now we are excited to find out what craft beer is like in Switzerland. This is our way to do it. We are Broken City Brewing and this is Craft. We are here in Lausanne for Wortspiele 3. More than 20 breweries, more than 30 beers coming from the same wort. I feel thirsty, so let's go drink some of them. Welcome to the first episode of Craft. What better way to start than attending Wortspiele, one of the most interesting craft beer festivals in Switzerland. We had the chance to talk with some talented brewers here in Lausanne, and we can't wait to visit some of these breweries in the next episodes. Stay tuned, stay craft. All right, I'm here with Christian.
Hello.
Who's the organizer?
One of the organizers.
Who's the other one?
Wortspiele was an idea from Sebastian and Marcel. They met at Trappist in Bern one day and they just had the idea that you could produce wort and then give it to different breweries and they do something with the wort and you get everybody together again for one event and you serve the different version that started out with the same wort, because all of these beers are experimental because the brewers don't have influence on the wort that we're producing, so these are one-offs most likely. The first one was small, it was 6 participating breweries, the second time was 16, and now today we should have 23.
Swiss craft breweries, or do you plan maybe to extend this type of events to like internationally, or what's your plan for the future?
Well, just this week actually we had a request from Austria. We agreed with them that they can use the name and they can use the branding and everything, and we're going to help them putting it together. For us, what is important, we want to keep the vibe.
How's the future for craft beer in Switzerland?
Well, I would say craft beer in Switzerland is so small that it can only grow. It will not get smaller again. But if you start to get a feeling that you have these venues to sell it, I would presume and I hope that other smaller breweries think, hey, wait a minute, this could actually work. Let me do this.
So they can take that step and grow.
And once that happens, I would say it will be even a better world than it is now with craft beer. But it seems to be that there's still a bit difficult to come from a 200-liter brewery or a 500-liter brewery to do a 1,500-liter brewery. That seems to be like, just from a financial perspective, also getting the equipment, I guess. But if you look at like Whitefrontier, Hoppy people, Nébuleuse, there are now some of those production breweries that could be start up something. Yeah.
All right, Christian, thanks a lot for the interview, thanks for organizing all this.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks, Christian. All right, so I'm here with
Andreas
and Sebastian from 523 Brewery. All right, so we're curious to know about your project,
your story as a brewer, where you come from?
So the brewing story is quite simple. Had a lot of good beers outside of Switzerland. Came back to Switzerland, tried to understand how beer really works, to try to create beer that I would enjoy drinking here. Had some experiments running for quite a long while, like a year and a half, 2 years, just in unmarked bottles at home. But then people start to ask me why I have these bottles, so I start to explain that it's just like small experiments. I would do like 10 liters of wort, and then split it into 5 different batches, use different yeast, different hops, etc. Different dry hopping regimes and schedules. And then people start to try the beers, and we're like, wow, they're really good. Can we get some more of that? And since then, we're trying to keep up with demand.
So what are your plans with the 5 century?
To make more.
What's gonna happen in the future?
That's really hard to predict. So I'm not going to be able to give you any lottery numbers or so apologies about that. The plan really is to keep making beer that is simply crazing and inspiring and expands horizons, and it's like something that you try and you're like, wow, that's an amazing beer. Like that's the underlying thing that we're trying to do all the time. Based on current demand, there's probably going to be a phase of growth where we need to upscale our brewery and our schedules, etc. However, that's less important than making super high quality beer.
Awesome.
Cool.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Silvia
Yes,
from Brau-und
RauchShop. We have last year 10 years Brau-und RauchShop. So the Brau-und RauchShop, it's an idea from 2 brothers. The brewery is one brother, he is brewing. The other brewer is he like to make sausages. So from that's the part of Rau. It's not to smoke, so it's the part of the barbecue, something like that. So then the 2 brothers, they beginning to make this online shop because it's really difficult to get some equipment. 2012 change, so the 2 brothers, they are not interesting to stay there.
Yep.
So he asked us, are you interested to make more with Brau-und RauchShop? So Shoki and me, we say, okay, we take all the equipment and we work for the next years with Brau-und RauchShop or for Brau-und RauchShop.
Yeah.
And in the last years, you know, there is a lot of breweries are coming, always new.
Okay.
And we have a lot of works and we have a lot of it as well. Our passion, we are working at home we make our own beer, we make our own sausage, our own bread, our own apple juice. So that's our life, and we can bring all us ideas in the shop, and we can give all the information we are living in the whole day, bring to us customers.
Yeah.
So we can help with all problems, with the fermenting, with the hops, with the cheese making, with a lot of ideas, so we can help. And it's always a really interesting contact with the customer to give information, to get information back.
Right.
Okay.
Well, thanks so much.
Yeah.
It's,
Thank you. And
Thanks for coming here, and
all the best for your beer as well.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Cheers. All right, so we are here with Kourus from La Nébuleuse.
Hi.
This event is about like taking the same wort, and there are a lot of different breweries. They're gonna make different beers out of the same wort. So why we have Kourus here? Because La Nébuleuse hosted this event. All the breweries use the wort that Nébuleuse used for one of their beers. So Kourus, can you tell us about La Nébuleuse first, and then I'm gonna ask about
Sure. So we are quite a young brewery. We've opened in February 2014. So in a week it would actually be our third year anniversary. We've been growing quite fast, trying to make beers that fit, if you want, several profiles. People interested in beer, people that have also already developed a palate, if you want, and also people that have not started drinking craft, and we try to get them, if you want, to jump onto the craft boat. So it's been a great adventure. It's a lot of work, but a lot of fun, which is the most important, obviously.
Yeah. How was it to feel part of Wortspiele 3, like as a host?
It's an honor, to be honest. We took part at number 2 last year. That was held at the beer factory in Zurich, and as a Wortspiele, if I want to be precise. And then now it's the first time it's been organized in Romandie, and it's definitely a pleasure for us to be hosting the event, to have helped brew obviously the worts in November, and to help organize this event, get people on board, and have as many people as possible here enjoy a really. I mean, for me, Wortspiele is the perfect example of the community of craft. You know, where people brew together, have fun together. You know, creative people, and it's like a big family, and it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I heard that you're not just hosting the events, you also made a beer like other breweries.
Yep.
Can you tell us about your creation?
So our beer is quite funny. It's we made what I called a Eisbock lager porter with strawberries and cinnamon. Yeah. So the idea was that we bottom ferment our worts. We used the yeast strain that we picked up at Boxer Brewery in Yverdon. So it's a large, if you want, industrial brewery, but we wanted to take the yeast, ferment with the yeast. So we fermented at 12 degrees. Yeah. Then added in secondary, some strawberry puree, and then cold crashed. And it turned into an Eisbock. It wasn't planned at first, but it turned into an Eisbock because I had 80 liters of worts. And I had in my small yeast tank that's connected to glycol, so it has proper cooling. And but the cooling was so powerful that I froze out of the 80 liters. I froze 60 of it, so I only made one keg. and so it was quite interesting because I hadn't expect that, but it obviously gave it some nice roundness to it, nice texture, and obviously kicked the alcohol level quite a bit. And when I kicked it, I put a bag of cinnamon inside and filled up the keg. So it's still infusing with cinnamon right now.
Awesome. It's on my list. I still have to try.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think I ever tried an Eisbock actually. So
yeah, my Eisbock. My best example for Eisbock is the Aventinus from Schneider Weiss, which is Weizen Eisbock, which is quite intense. Yeah. Eisbock is really interesting style. It's a tough one to make, in a sense that if you want to make it the real way, so freeze it outside in a barrel, it's quite difficult. But I find the exercise quite interesting for sure.
All right, Kourus, thanks a lot for helping organize all these
Fabio.
And hosting.
And cheers to you.
Cheers. Hi, Olivier.
Hi.
So I'm happy to be here and talk with you. It's you're from Hoppy People Brewery. It's, in my opinion, it's I tasted some of your beers. Are really interesting. I think they are very well made, and so I'm glad to have you here. And then we'll also talk about Hoppy People. And so tell us about your brewery.
So Hoppy People is a brewery we started in May 2016 after nearly 6 years of home brewing. Like many in this trend, actually, we are issued from home brewing, and we decided at one point to scale up and go out and work on this market, which is a rising market, interesting market, and we started a Hoppy People brewery.
Tell us a little bit about your creation, what you guys did.
Yeah, I think it's a Wortspiele is a brilliant idea. People get along together, they work together, they gather, and Wortspiele is a good example of that. We worked on a beer. We took the wort post-boil, so we didn't change the actual worts we got in the beginning, but we worked on what we could do on fermenting, dry hopping, and adding ingredients. We did a porter we called Harry Porter. Not the best name. Somebody told me Harry Porter would have been funnier, and it's true. But the idea was to ferment it with two different yeasts. One is a standard American Chico yeast, and the other one is a house yeast we're working on.
Yep.
And we also dried hopped it quite massively with à la Trauer Blanc, which gives it this interesting nose and kind of winey taste. Yep. And then we added, like some of the other colleagues did, cocoa nibs, vanilla beans, and the chilies. The chilies is quite mild, and you don't really feel it until the end, the end of the tasting. So that was mainly the idea of this beer.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot, Olivier.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We're here with Chris from Whitefrontier.
Yep.
I think, my opinion, one of the most interesting breweries in Switzerland.
Thank you.
So, Chris, tell us about Whitefrontier.
Okay, so Whitefrontier, I started in Whitefrontier in March last year. Before my arrival, the brewery was a client brewer brewing beers in Belgium. When I arrived, we were in the throes of designing the installation of our own brewery. That arrived in April 2016, and we brewed our first beer in May 2016. And the whole inspiration of the brewery is to tie real Swiss life, like Swiss adventure and life in the mountains, to bring that adventure into beer and just to have a good time while doing it.
Yep. The styles of beers that you guys prefer, or you're open to explore any different direction, or?
So me personally, as a brewer, I take a great passion in brewing well-balanced hoppy beers, big robust stouts, and also one of my greatest passions is to start some sour beer program. But like for the moment, it's just kind of, we're still trying to find that kind of the perfect fit of what is Whitefrontier. We're still defining ourselves, but I think we're going the right direction. Even now in the tanks as I speak, there's so many things, interesting things in the fermenter that I can't wait to release to Switzerland now in the next month or two. And I think it's going to, as we grow, as we release more beers, I think we'd start to find a good definition of what is Whitefrontier and what is Whitefrontier beer.
Okay. Yep. So can you tell us about your creation?
Yeah. So on the brew day here, it was so much fun here.
like
Back in November, right?
back in November, and 30 odd brewers looking at a brew house. It's too many chefs almost, but it was really good fun and good to be in the same room with brewers. With just brewers is good fun. Like normally it's you only see brewers at other festivals, and you rarely get to talk to them directly as freely as we did on a brew day together. But yeah, for the wort that we took back, we took back about 60 liters, or no, 40 liters of wort, and one of those batches was boiled for 3 hours. We made an imperial porter with cinnamon and vanilla added. Then the rest of the volume was boiled and treated as a sweet porter, so it had lactose added, and at the tail end of fermentation we added some coffee, because we're currently at Whitefrontier. We're currently working on some coffee projects as well, and we had some samples of really nice coffee lying around, so it made sense to we had to do it. So we're pretty happy with how it turned out. We used 2 different varieties of coffee and then blended that beer together to create 3 different products.
Awesome. I tried your Imperial Porter.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
It's a great beer.
Thanks.
Right. Cheers, Chris.
Santé.
Thanks. I'm here with Keith. Keith. So you're from CôteWest, right?
CôteWest Brewing, yeah.
So tell us about this project.
So CôteWest Brewing, it's a production brewery. I'm a gypsy brewer, actually. So sharing a system with a local microbrewery in the region. I've just come out with a West Coast IPA called Californication.
I met you for the first time in November when we were here collecting wort for the Wortspiele. I got really excited when I heard that you were from San Diego as well. I mean, I'm not from San Diego, but I live there, so
we instantly connected.
I was still, I was still feeling nostalgic about the city. So like I said, we are here for Wortspiele 3. Every brewery made his own beers, starting from the same wort. So what did you do?
So I did a sessionable Baltic Porter. Okay. Sessionable, it's at 6.8 ABV, slightly under what a normal Baltic Porter would be.
Yeah. It's fun that you call it sessionable, because we're used to session like a 4% alcohol. You're kind of unique in this sense. Right?
Yeah, for me, anything below 7 degrees is sessionable, if
Awesome.
it's done well. But it turned out really good. So I took the wort back. I did a 3-hour boil to get a higher ABV. Plus, I wanted to get some of the fruitiness characteristics out of the beer. I lagered it with an ale yeast, as well as I used noble hops in the process of making the beer. Yeah. And a lot of great beers here to try. It's amazing all the beers the concoctions everybody's come up with. It's awesome.
I still have a few to try, but I really enjoy yours.
Same here. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Grazie.
All right. More than 30 beers. Wortspiele 3. Got a nice veggie burger from the Green Van. It's time to go back home. Good night.